Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be finishing off the snake game with Python. If you haven't been watching the series, that's fine, but here we are I'm gonna try to facilitate you guys learning Python by making a game, which should be more fun. So far, we made our snake fully work, right? It wraps around and we can make it grow and it can move around and it has a length, right? So now we need to finish off the game. And the first thing we need to do is instead of having a button to grow it, which is not how the game works, we need an apple, okay? So let's create an apple. Again, we're going to use a class for this, right? And again, it's going to be useful to reuse the code from entity. And this is how where you'll see why the inheritance actually becomes useful. So we're going to use this. Again, we're going to grab all this and we're going to use super to init it. And you can see we reused a lot of code, and the more complex your code gets, the better. So what we're going to do here is we again have to have a render. Here, the render is going to be super duper simple, right? All we do is just set whatever location of that apple, just set it there, okay? So now let's create an apple here. And I don't know, let's start it at some random place. Rand int gives you an integer, right, from 1 to 10, or between 0 and less than 10, right? So let's just have it random. And then let's make it red, right? It's an apple, right? There wouldn't be much of an apple otherwise. So then we'll get it here. And let's do an apple dot render. Let's see. We should get the apple here. Now let's make it do something. So we need multiple things here. We need it to be able to be eaten. So let's check def is eaten. And you're gonna pass it some coordinates, and basically if self.x equals x and self.y equals y, then you return true, which it has been eaten, otherwise you return false. So now here, we're going to check for it increasing. So sorry, let's go back here. After you do this, we're going to take this render, and now we're going to check, okay, if apple is eaten and we have to give the coordinates, which are the coordinates of the head of the snake, which is y, then I want to add length. I want to make the snake longer, right? Because it ate the apple. And now let's just make a function where we're checking if it's eaten, right? So if it is eaten, not only are we going to return true, right? We need to relocate the apple because that makes the game more fun, right? So now we're going to just set it to a random new place. And then, yeah, we have all this, and now the apple render again. So let's see if it works. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. Here we go. And as you can see, we move it around, and then we get here. You eat the apple, and the snake has grown. So now we are very, very close to the end of this game. But as you can see, the snake doesn't die yet. So let's just get that working. Okay, let's make a function to check how is dead, okay? Right? So the way we're going to check if is dead is if our new coordinates, if the new coordinates are the same as a past coordinate of the snake, okay? And the way that we're going to do this is change this up a little. First, we know we're going to append to it, right? So I'm going to make it like this, right? So basically what this will do is make chords just make chords the whole snake, except the head we're going to add on next. And now we are going to call is dead. So how's is dead going to work? If if self.x, or basically we're just going to check if the current self.x and self.y, which is the head, is inside of self.chord. So this tells you that it's actually going inside of itself, basically. Then you're going to print your score and you exit. So sys.exit just kills the whole thing afterward. Okay, so we're going to check sys.exit is dead. If it's not dead, we append and continue as normal. So let's test this out. It's you have to, if you want to call a function, again, it's a function within the class, so self dot, right? So let's try this out. You grab this, grab this. Now let me try running into myself, and it dies. So there we go. We have the entire of snake, and this works, right? So there's many different ways to reach this point, right? But I hope with this you can see how to organize everything, and I've tried to do what I can using classes to not reuse any code, not reuse or to reuse as much code as possible to keep it clean. So hope now you can see how to properly use all the techniques and use all of like classes and inheritance and all the types of variables and all the different functions. Now I just remembered there's one last thing we need to do, just for fun. Let's make the color of the snake alternating. Why not, right? So we're going to use a dictionary for this. And what I want it to do is I want it to be for each, I want it to alternate colors, right? So for 0, we're gonna have blue and green, right? So I'm gonna have 0 at being, or sorry, we're gonna have even, right? So for the even bits, and odd, it's going to be green. So basically what a dictionary is it's like a lookup, right? So I can look up the word even. If it's in the dictionary, it'll give me blue. It's like a key value pair. So we're going to use that dictionary for the colors. Now, when we're actually rendering it here, I'm going to change the color, right? So this is going to be bool, or sorry, it's going to be is even, and it's going to start as true, right? And every single time you do is even, you set it to not is even, right? So not just reverses it, right? So if it's true, it'll now be false. If it's false, it'll now be true, right? Because you switch it every time. So if is even, then you set it to self.color even, and else we set it to odd. So let's see if that works. Add a little bit of color to it, and now it's a little bit more fun. Okay, so I hope you've had a fun time following along, and oh, it's kind of confusing now, really. Anyway, but if you've had fun making this and learned, then I'm glad. I hope I was able to help. And yeah, you can continue using this, right, to make whatever you want and continue experimenting. And I hope you found this useful. If you found it useful and you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in another video. Bye.